first of all, a big congratulations on your book.
Thank you.
Talk to me about how you're feeling about putting this book from written into audio.
Oh my gosh. The audio, they kept telling me how difficult it is. And I was like, I got this. I'm gonna do it, and it'll be fine, and I'm made for this. And then as soon as I started doing it, I thought, I get it now. This is really hard work. It took me 5 days to complete. I went there from 9 a.m. I think it was like 3 or 4 p.m. And I knocked it out. I think on the 4th, 5th day, I really started to like get a hang of it. But the first day was brutal.
I've got to say, we're so used to seeing you on camera. What was the decision behind going into book and audiobook?
Just a very different art, I think. I think I was really ready to write a book. I felt like I wanted to put all of my story into something that someone could hold and to like read, and even people that don't know who I am or don't know anything about me, like to read the story and to really get immersed into the pages, into the words. And I thought like this is such a different kind of art, and I really want to go in this direction. I've always loved writing. Always, and I have like a million ideas in my head all the time, and I just want to jot it down on paper. So it just made sense to make that the next step. With the audiobook, for me it was more about like doing something that is so meaningful and having like, not only is it my story, but me like narrating it. I thought that was really important for, you know, the people who have spent so much energy in time watching me over the years. You know, I've cultivated this massive relationship with my fans, and I thought like I have to do this myself.
Yeah. And as you bring that up, you are narrating it. It's, you go through a lot of your life and emotional parts, vulnerable parts. Talk to me about how you felt reading out your words out loud, and if that was emotional for you.
Yeah, I've kind of like taken myself out of like my own self almost, because I think through the book writing process, I already healed it. You know what I mean? Like going through the book process, you know, it took me a couple years, and as I was writing it and going through it, I was healing as I was writing it. And then when I put it out, it was like, I always say, I wrote the book for me, but I put it out for the rest of the world. And so when I was doing the audio, I thought like, I've already healed through so much of this that I can actually read this and just feel so grounded while I'm reading. Yes, it was emotional. There were some parts that I'm like, oh my God, this is a chapter about this. And I thought, oh my gosh, I can't cry, you know, I have to be very neutral. But it was really fun to do it, honestly. I really enjoyed the process.
And you say that you wrote the book for you and you put it out for everyone else. When you think about putting it out, your children are so young. Do you think about the future when they listen to it?
Yeah. So I thought about that a lot. I didn't write the book. I didn't start writing until I genuinely decided within myself that this would be something that my kids could read one day. Like that was like my number one thing, is like, if I'm gonna do this, I have to be okay with the fact that my kids will eventually read this. And I'm one of those people that like, I live in the present moment, but I also have this ability to really connect to what could potentially happen in the future. And I have like, there's so many timelines and so many questions and so many things that could potentially happen. And I thought, well, I'm gonna have these conversations with my kid one day. I'm gonna have these conversations. They're already going to happen. Do I know the outcome? No. However, I felt like me doing this was for myself and also for them, because it's like everything that I talked about is just so out in the open. It's just so vulnerable. It's just so my truth. And I don't want my kids to ever think that you should be like that your story is something that you should just like keep to yourself, and like you should, even if you should play like a victim mentality or anything like that. Like I think that people should really own their stories, and I think my kids should own their stories, whatever that their stories are in their life. And that's kind of what the energy that I put into the book.
And being proud of the hurdles that you overcome.
Yeah, exactly.
Now I've just recently been told that you have the most pre-saved audiobook for Spotify. That's unbelievable. I mean, you clearly have cultivated such a beautiful fan base, a family online. How does that make you feel? That's unbelievable.
That's them. That's my supporters. That's my ACE family. Like that's like, that's not me.
It is you. You've created it.
It's just like I just thank them because they are such a reflection of me. I'm such a reflection of them. And when I heard the news, I thought, wow, like that is, first of all, I was just like, I can't believe it. Like, what is happening? But then at the same time, it's like, that makes sense. Like, I have created this relationship with my audience, and they know that whatever I'm putting out is going to be truth. It's going to be authentic. It's going to be real. And yeah, that's just a reflection of that.
I want to go into the book because there are some names that you name and some that you don't name. How did you decide on the people you were going to leave their real name and then the ones that are fake names?
Yeah. So to be honest with you, I think there's only a very small percentage of like real names. And that was simply because my fan base knows those people very well because there's so much part of my life. And then the rest of and there's some names that I actually genuinely wanted to keep. And, you know, I have some friends that are like, please, you know, keep my name. Like, and I was super excited. But at the end, we thought, you know, like, let's really just change everyone's names pretty much. And just, you know, just it's not about who's who. It's more about this overall story.
Yes.
You know.
Has anyone reached out to you since the book that you have put stories in there?
I've had some people reaching out, not like, how do I explain it? This was before the book was released. So I've had some people reaching out. I think like people thought like, you know, they might be in there, might not be in there. Because, you know, I did talk about that, you know, I was writing a memoir. But there hasn't been anything like, yeah, it's been pretty, it's been nice. Like it's definitely been a growing experience. But I do understand why most people don't write memoirs. Now I'm understanding that that's not something that's very common.
Yeah.
I see why a lot of people don't do it. I see why a lot of people are afraid to do it. But one thing I learned in life is being brave. You're not brave before you do the thing that puts you in fear. You go through the things that you're in fear, and then you become brave. And I think that this has really like helped me become like a braver, more courageous person. For me, it was more about doing what feels right and just allowing myself to be vulnerable.
Yeah.
Like, I can be vulnerable. I'm a human being. It's okay. I've gone through all these things. It's okay. Like, I've healed through them already. And I just want people to read this and say, wow, I can relate to her. And it's okay that I've gone through these things because I can see that she's on the other side.
People are resonating with you so much and how much you've helped them go through that as well.
Yeah. I think I didn't go through anything like that people don't go through. I think that everyone we have similar stories. I feel like I could literally sit with anyone in the world and relate to them at least with one thing. And I think that for me, it's like, yeah, I wrote a second book. Part 2, Dolores, The Journey Home was part 1.
Yep.
Part 2, Home at Last. And yeah, I'm so excited for book 2. I think book 1 really gives off this very like, she went through a lot. That's a lot of pain. There's a lot of hardship there. It goes in line with, you know, the name. And then the second book is more like, wow, this feels really good to read this. Like, this is, I get it now. There's going to be a lot of that, I get it.
Going back to the names, as per usual, the internet is going to think of who's that theories and things like that.
Is that what's happening right now? Because I haven't looked.
Yeah, that's so good that you haven't looked.
No, I haven't looked.
I mean, things like Michael B. Jordan come up. Can you comment on situations like that?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it doesn't matter who's who. It really doesn't. It's a story. And I think that a lot of times people want the drama. They want, this was that person, that was this, that was that. And it's like, it really doesn't matter. I think that for me, it was also about writing truthfully. And I didn't like try to hide anything throughout the book. Like, I was very honest with my story because it's my story at the end of the day. Yeah, I think that, you know, people can think whatever they want to think. I love them for wanting to find out who's who, but it doesn't matter. It really doesn't.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And more eyes on the book.
Yeah.
That's the main thing.
Yeah.
Why did you decide to put certain parts of your life in the book, and did you leave anything out?
I didn't leave anything out.
Wow.
Sorry to cut you off.
No.
I'm just so excited to say that. I didn't leave anything out, girl. Everything's in there. Everything's in there. Everything that could be under somebody's rug. Think about that. So everything that's in your rug, and you just put it out into a book. And that's exactly what I did. And it's like, I wrote the most vulnerable parts in my life into a book because I was ready to purge that. I was ready to release that. And I feel like I'm on a new blank sheet of paper now, and I have nothing to hide.
What part are you most nervous about?
That I wrote in the book? What part was I most nervous about? That's a really good question. I wasn't nervous about anything. You know, there was a lot of talk around the first chapter and the epilogue because I spoke about my ex-husband. Yeah. To be honest, I wasn't even nervous about that. I thought, well, I feel like everybody knows. Like, I'm just putting out something that already everyone's feeling. We have a collective consciousness. We all feel things, right? Where energetically, I feel like human beings, we can all feel. And so when you read something that's real, it just resonates, you know? So I wasn't nervous about that. I was more so like, oh, people are going to read this and say, like, she finally spoke her truth. Yeah.